Right, guys, let's get straight into it. Battlefield 2042. Look, I think my channel does best when I am honest and open with you. That's why I feel my content is best placed. I feel it's where I maybe separate myself from the other large YouTubers. It's maybe a bit of my niche in the fact that I like to discuss things, be fair and reasonable, but also be actually honest. Because, look, I've just spent a couple of hours looking at the reviews of Battlefield 2042, and people seem to say the same thing. When it comes down to, like, the nitty-gritty of it, it seems to be people are saying, it's okay. Is that good enough? Is it good enough for probably the biggest shooting franchise bar COD to be, hey, it's okay? What does it do differently? What does it do unique? What is it special at? Where are you going to get the joy, the fun, the enjoyment from? What are you going to be able to get from this franchise, from this game that's coming out soon that you are not able to get from Battlefield 3, A Bad Company 2, Battlefield 4, 1, 5, Warzone, Call of Duty, Cold War, a Zombies mode? What are you going to get in Battlefield that you can't get anywhere else? And after playing probably 8 hours of the game, based on this test, I don't know. So I've got a list here of some things that I want to speak on. In the background, you're just going to be seeing random bits of footage that I managed to capture when the game would actually function. Okay, so number one, what's like the level of expected play when you go into a brand new AAA franchise in beta? Remember, this is beta. What are you expecting? Well, I'm expecting the fundamentals to be there. I'm expecting the gunplay to feel as it's going to feel at launch. I'm expecting the map to be kind of like what it's going to be like at launch, the attachments, the flow of play. Now, there can be bugs, there can be performance issues, there can be disconnects and problems, but fundamentally the game's got to be kind of there. It's got to be there, and I'm not seeing that at all. I am not seeing that at all with this game. So I'm going in, and I understand that for a few people, Battlefield is their everything. Whatever game it may be, it's that everything. They need the game to be perfect. But most people are just looking for, hey, I hope this game is okay. I hope I can hop on it with my friends. We're going to spend 40, 50 quid, $60 on a game, and we're going to be able to play it for 100 hours together in a group. And then maybe after 100 hours, we're all bored to tears and we move on to the next thing. But we've had more than enough out of our money and we've had fun. But is that good enough? Just because people take the game lightly, and many people do take the game lightly. In fact, you know, YouTube will have you believe that everyone is a super serious gamer and everyone's esports and everyone plays 16 hours a day and everyone's like the sweatiest player alive. But no, actually, most people just want to hop on with their friends and have a bit of fun, and that's completely okay. But that doesn't mean that's what the standard of the game should be. Not the standard of the game should be as high as you possibly can do, and it should aim to please those people that are the massive Battlefield fans or whatever franchise you're talking about. So let's go into some specifics. So what is the build we're playing on? The build we're playing on in this beta is, quote, a few months old, right? And that has been the excuse that every single person I've watched in a review has said. Hey, it's a few months old, so all of these things are going to be fixed. Why? How? How do you know that? We have absolutely no idea if these things are going to be fixed or not. Just blindly saying, oh yeah, there's all these problems in the game, but it's going to be fixed. That's not true. That's hope. That's speculation. If we're actually going off past Battlefields, the launch has always been pretty shitty recently. So if the game is in this state currently, I wouldn't put any bets on that it would be any better at launch. Number two, if you're playing on an older build and you're making this open beta and you're making it this spectacle of come and play our game, come and pre-order it. Remember, it's constantly telling me to buy and pre-order the game in the menu. They're proud of this. They want me to play this experience and as a result pre-order the game. Then why are you putting me on an old build? It's not the expected play. It's not what I want to play on. I understand you can't put people on the most up-to-date build because of issues and bugs, etc. But here's the big kicker. If I'm playing on a really old build and that's all your excuses, oh, well, it's actually fixed in the real build. In the real build, it's fixed. Then what is the beta for? If the beta's to give feedback and the beta's to test things, but your response is going to be, yeah, all of that is fixed in the most recent patch, the most recent build, then what's the point of the beta? Well, then the point of the beta becomes, again, a showpiece, a showcase of come and buy our game. And it's not doing it. So the performance of the game, the performance runs horribly. You've seen the video on my channel. I've seen videos of it on all different kinds of platforms. It doesn't run well on any platform. People are saying it runs super smooth on the Xbox Series X. I've seen footage of it. It's not super smooth. Now, you might have different standards, but I'm telling you, it's not super smooth. It doesn't run perfectly on anything. And you're going to be like, well, it's a beta. Okay, then let's forget the performance. Let's hope that magically, in the course of a couple months, that the performance is going to be entirely fixed and perfect. I don't think it will be, but go on then, let's say it is. What about the netcode? Oh, well, it's a beta. There's going to be problems with it. Okay, but this is the thing. This is what everyone seems to be doing, is just making these excuses. You play a beta to get an idea of how the game's going to be, and then when it's completely dog shit, people tell you, oh, well, it's a beta. So what's the point? What is the point of it? That's what I don't understand anymore. We've become so complacent. I've got planes falling out the sky. I've got parachutes not opening. I've got so much shit not working that I'm trying to shoot people and I'm not connecting with bullets. I'm not the only person. If you want to browse Reddit, forums, YouTube, you will all say this and see the same thing, that people are shooting people square on in the chest and you're not hitting people. Now, you can say, all right, well, there's so much going on in Battlefield. The fights are so expansive that it doesn't need to be perfectly accurate. I don't agree with that, but let's say that's true. Let's say that there's so much action going on that in the middle of a tank warfare with helicopters going on and waves crashing and buildings coming down, maybe you can forgive a little bit of the accuracy in the netcode. But the thing is, there isn't any of that. The game's incredibly bland. It's very bland. Like, people will be big Battlefield fans and will disagree with me, but it is very, very bland playing this game. You go in a lift, the doors don't work. You go in a building, you can't level the building. Someone's camping in a building, you can't shoot the building down. You can do a bit of destruction, sure, but it's kind of hollow. When I was playing Bad Company 2 and I was playing Battlefield 3, you would think that all these years later, that the game would become all about the destruction, all about the, quote, levolution, all about the things that makes Battlefield Battlefield. And it's not. In fact, it's going further and further away from Battlefield, and it's just become a Warzone clone. But what's worse than becoming a Warzone clone is it doesn't actually feel as innovative or as smooth as a Warzone game. I'm sorry, and I'm not even a big Warzone fan. But Warzone just flat out plays better in every capacity. It's this incredibly bright, washed out colour palette. I've tried every setting under the sun. I can't tweak it to look nice. There's this inherent blur built into the game on text, on UI, that just makes me think, have I got something wrong here in my settings? You've got the UI, which is like all this block square that pops up on the top of your screen as this big square, and you're like, this dude just made this in Photoshop in 10 minutes. Like, it's just popping up on my screen like, enemy has captured the sector. This is... The kill feed doesn't look as good, and people will know what I'm talking about here. When you play Battlefield in the older Battlefields, one of the things when you played the game was getting that flank on and getting that streak of medals coming up. It'd be like ping, 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 and all the medals would start coming up. You'd get that rush, that endorphin rush, and that was kind of Battlefield in itself. If you couldn't make a huge impact across the battlefield, maybe you could go to a D site, make a play, and get a rush of medals, ribbons popping up. You don't even have that. You can barely even figure out what your own score is. You can't really see your own kill feed. It looks weak. It's positioned poorly. The ribbons and medal system just doesn't appeal to me like it used to. I don't get that rush anymore. And I'm just killing people and thinking, am I even doing that? What's even happening? It's incredibly bland, this game. That's all. I was just so surprised after seeing the trailer that was so hyped up. There's two ways you can look at it. They're saving the best till last, or They made the trailer so hype because they knew the game couldn't stand up on its own. You know, you've got the price of this game. It's going to be a $60 game. It's trying to get me to pre-order like a £100 edition of the game. What? Based off this? Why would I spend 100 quid on this? You know, one of the things they keep trying to introduce and hype people up with is that they got the guy that made the operator skins from a COD. They hired him. Am I meant to be excited by that? That you've now put operators in the game, which don't really add anything, let's be honest. And now you've hired a guy from COD that can do operator skins, which you're 100% going to be selling. There's a massive lack of Battlefield moments. Now, it could just be that this map is awful, because this map is awful. There's not enough cover, it's hugely open, there's not enough destruction. The way you fight is very similar. It's just like these red huts that you go inside and have a fight. Maybe there's a ladder and a stairs, a gate that you jump over. Thing is with this is the map is so big that you are playing 128 players, right? And there's about 10 points across the map. I think there's like 8 points or 10 points, whatever it is, across the map. And because they're so spread out, when you go to fight in these encounters whilst capturing a hill or a flag or a point, whatever you want to call it, you're going to see 3 to 4 people. Once you've dealt with 3 to 4 people, or your teammate have cleaned up 3 people and you're scouring around looking for somebody, that's it. That's the fight over. And now you decide, do I wait and control this hill to, you know, eventually be killed from the side or from the angle, or maybe we clean them up again and have another little 4v4 fight? Or do I call in a tank or a car, and do I try traverse the map and not get killed and go to another place just to have another 4v4 scrappy fight? I never once felt a Battlefield moment in this, I'll be honest. I've played Battlefield 4. Recently, June the 11th was the last time I played that game. That game felt super fun, super fluid, 350 FPS. It felt like it was good movement, but there was weight to the game itself. But when I play this now, there's something not right with the movement and the gunplay. It feels like COD, but clunky. That's how I describe it. It doesn't have weight and precision and sort of cadence and patience like a PUBG. It kind of just feels like COD, but worse. It doesn't feel like Battlefield. It doesn't feel like PUBG. It doesn't feel as smooth as Warzone. And it doesn't, yeah, again, feel like Battlefield. You just kind of feel clunky. So this game is a massive disappointment. It could just be that this map is so awful that people have decided that wrongly people have decided that this game's bad, and maybe the game's fantastic, but here's the big kicker: the operators aren't going anywhere. And the problem with that is everyone's playing as the same character. I was having fights where it was like I was that old woman being a healer, and it was like 10 old women on the battlefield healing versus 10 old women on the battlefield, and I was like, who is on my team? Like, who? Like, the amount of times I got shot at from my own team was staggering. The amount of times I shot people that were on my team was staggering, and the amount of times I didn't shoot and then got shot because he wasn't on my team was staggering. I just don't like the idea of everyone being the same character. I see no reason for it other than to be edgy like COD and sell operator skins. Okay, so let's talk about the operators. What do they actually do that's unique? So one can place a sentry turret. Okay, cool. One person can heal. By the way, the healing in this game, if you've ever tried to revive someone, it just doesn't work. 90% of the time you take the gun, the other percent of the time it doesn't heal, and maybe 2% of the time it heals, and of that 2% time, only 1% of the time somebody actually goes to heal you, because everyone fucking leaves you on the floor because, hey, it's Battlefield and no one wants to revive. So you've got like the medic gun, which honestly just seems boring. The turret is a bit boring. You've got the scout that can see people near him, but you can also change what gun they have, so you can be the scout but carry a shotgun. It's about like what they would say, the modern term is player agency. Give the players what they want, allow the players to play the game that they want. But what that really means to me is, oh, just forget the balance, forget the fact it's Battlefield, just let everybody do whatever they want and let them all have fun. And the end result is nobody ends up having fun because everyone's trying to do their own thing. Ironically, the thing that I thought would be the stupidest in the franchise, which is the grapple hook, actually works well. Only because it gives me a bit of fluidity and it allows me to move around the map in a bit of a unique way and maybe catch people out that are camping on roofs and stuff. But if there was much more destruction and levolution, I'd much prefer just to bring the whole building down on them rather than use a stupid grapple hook. But that's the world we live in now. Every game needs a grapple hook, apparently. From Halo to bloody Battlefield, you've got planes flying backwards, you've got a rocket that shoots up in the air that no one cares about, you've got a huge open field with, you know, people are, oh look how the, people will say, oh look how the default truck's exploding. I don't care. They seem to spend a lot of time working on what I would call showpieces, things that they can put in a trailer and say that are in the game but really have little to no impact. So for me, it was just a massive disappointment. There was one thing that I did like, that when you're capturing, it shows how many people are in the area, and then you can prepare yourself for a fight and try and win like a 1v4 or a 4v4. That was good. There were some moments where I did enjoy the game, and I'm not going to pretend like it was all negative, because there were some moments where I did enjoy the game. But it just didn't feel right the whole time I was playing the game. It just felt like, what is this? You know, Battlefield is always going to be that game where you've got the guy that's got a full-on military suit in his bedroom. He's got the full badges from his combat, and he's got the full flight stick. He's got 16,000 hours inside of the pilot training suite, and he's going to dominate you in the air. And it's fucking boring. I'm sorry. Air combat in this game, it's just boring. Look, I'm sure if I sat down and I practiced the planes and I dominate the planes, you can have some fun, but for me the enjoyment comes as a shooter. And the thing, again, I'm not a huge Battlefield fan, but the thing that comes across to me in this Battlefield more so than other ones is normally in Battlefield I have the problem of I don't feel an impact in the fight, meaning your one-on-one gunfights, your up close personal encounters like your one-on-ones where you swing the battle in a Gears of War in a war zone, or you win a 2v1, right? In this, winning a 2v1 or winning a 1v1 doesn't really mean much because it is a large scale battle. I get that, but even in older games I have felt that I've had a little bit more impact as an individual soldier than in this game. This game just feels like you run around, you win a couple 2v2s, you have a 1v4 where your team clean up, and the rest of it is just walking around hoping for something to happen. I didn't see any big scale battles. It wasn't trench fighting trench or tank fighting tank. It just felt like people were just bumping, like, to describe it, it just felt like people were bumping into each other. There was no real flow to the, you know, it's not like people are throwing nades back and forth and trying to conquer the metro stairs. It was just like, oh, there's a tank here and I've bumped into him, or oh, I'm in a tank and I bumped into two people in the open. I didn't feel like there was any flow to the map. Again, graphically, it doesn't really look any better than previous franchises on PC, in my opinion. A fully maxed out Battlefield 3 on Ultra can easily compare with this game. Okay, maybe it's not perfectly, you know, similar in terms of graphics. Maybe there are a few technical differences, but as an overall picture, if you were to compare the two, I much prefer the look of Battlefield 3 and 4 than this. Now, I will say that when the storm comes in and it rains and the mood of the map darkens, it looks better. But when it's not raining, which is most of the time, it just looks incredibly washed out. The text is blurry, the UI isn't clear, and I'm just asking myself, like, is this it? Now, whether it's because it needs to run on an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 or whatever it may be, but I was expecting to be blown away. You know, I've got an RTX 3080 and a 5950X, I've got an NVMe, got all the RAM in the world, and it just doesn't look that great, to be honest. And it's just a bit worrying that the whole game has now been built on operators which don't really seem that interesting. You can't see your own teammates or who you're playing against. It just doesn't seem ready. It doesn't seem ready. And it's okay saying it's a beta, it'll be sorted. Will it be sorted? Do you honestly think that by the time this game launches, it's going to perfectly work? Because it's not, is it? It's not going to perfectly work. And I guess I'm just bored of seeing people review games in a way that's like, well, yeah, it was okay, I enjoyed it, that's all that matters. Like, when I see an explosion and I load in and the explosion is falling at 2 FPS, that's not going to change. That is something that they've put into the game, that explosions in the distance are playing at such a low frame rate, or whatever they've done to make the game work on such a scale. And it just doesn't feel right. We haven't even touched upon, like, the AI. So there's AI in the game. So because you make such an enormous map and you sell the game as 128 versus 128, when the game isn't full, it's going to be filled with AI. These AI are like any other bots in any other game, where they just look rigid, they do things that normal humans don't, and they can do things that normal humans can't do. Like, sometimes they'll just tank all of your bullets and then punch you down with 2 punches whilst you're shooting through their chest, because maybe somewhere on the server they're slightly in a different position, but on their client side they're not. And, you know, with people not having nameplates in Battlefield, because that's always been a thing, you normally look at the character uniform and stuff, but in this, when nobody has a nameplate, you just start spraying at each other because you don't know whose team is going to be on. Is that an enemy medic woman, or is that a friendly? You don't know. So just massively disappointing, performance wise, gameplay wise, just visual gunplay. I just felt like I really don't know what they've tried to do here. The way I saw the trailer was, this is Battlefield. This is more Battlefield moments than ever. They did the, you know, the big go up in the plane, snipe the pilot, the big homage to the famous Battlefield 3 clip. And I play this, and I'm like, what am I playing? Look, I'm not saying like, oh, Battlefield 3 and 4 or some incredible game that nothing can ever top, but they're better than this. They're better than this currently. And you might go, well, of course a game that's 10 years old or something with 3 years of patches is going to be better. But this is meant to be selling me the game. You know, if we're being honest, if this game launched in this fashion and everybody plays it, they're only playing it because it's the new thing. That's the new thing to do. When there's a brand new game out, you play the new thing. They don't actually play the game that is the better version. They just play the thing that is the most popular. Because this is the newest thing, this will be the most popular. So look, I'm not saying Battlefield 2042 will be a shit game that will never improve, because it will. It will improve, but right now, there's nothing positive to say about the game, really. There's very little positive to say about the game, so I don't see why I should. When the game gives me something to be positive about, I'll tell you. And that's the thing. There's obviously a lot of people that think to themselves, Battlefield 2042 is going to be the next big thing. If I'm super positive about it and I build up a community around Battlefield, maybe I could get rich, maybe I can make YouTube money, maybe I can make stream money, maybe I can just have a big community, which is something I've always wanted. So they're not going to shit on the game that their main audience is going to play. But I just try to be honest in terms of all of my discussion. Right now, in Battlefield 2042, doesn't seem ready. It doesn't seem ready in any way. It's a washed out, unperforming, bland experience that there's nothing unique. Great, you've got a grappling hook. Fantastic. Like, what else is there? I can call in a tank. Great. It just feels like someone's had this idea and it's just been pushed in there and pushed in there and pushed in there until you can't get rid of it, because operators are going nowhere. It might change the skins, but I'm kind of tired of this kind of shit where you can imagine now where the enemy teams have different operator skins to the current team, and then they'll announce that they've listened to player feedback and they've done it, and people will rejoice. But it's kind of like, why do we even need to say that? Is it not obvious through playtesting that everyone's fucking shooting each other because you can't see what's going on? do we need to go onto Twitter, Reddit, YouTube and say, oh, boo-hoo, I can't see the enemy player. Please, please, DICE, please, EA, please fix it. Like, no, they should be doing their job, shouldn't they? So it's not great. It's really not great. So I wasn't that positive about Halo Infinite, but when I finished Halo Infinite in the last playtest, I thought to myself, that game feels quite ready now. That game feels, oh yeah, that's good. This just don't feel ready. So at the moment, I can't recommend that game. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments below. Thumbs up, like, subscribe. Because it's honest takes here. You know, everyone else is trying to fucking go out there and shill, get their little YouTube paycheck and fucking get famous. But, you know, I'm hoping that if you're honest, that's where you'll get your actual viewers from. Because they know they can at least, even if I'm wrong, even if I'm completely wrong and my opinion's shit, it's my opinion. It's not influenced by anybody.